everyone, happy Wednesday. This is Katie Sutton with your Zen Within Day update here on this beautiful, very warm day in Charlotte. So I just got done last night teaching the first class of our New Earth Now Volume 5, and it was so wonderful because there was so much playful energy and so much curiosity energy. We went and did some clearing with our lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria and went into the halls of Amenti beneath the Great Pyramid in Egypt and received our power symbols that are going to help us activate our own personal new earth vibrations. And it has been such a pleasure to see everybody's symbols coming in. They've been emailing me and texting me what they received, and it's just been a lot of fun. And I share that because I think that is the energy that we're in June. May was pretty intense with all of this eclipse energy and this very big shift that we all went through of welcoming in new energy and new beginnings and healing a lot of things. And it's interesting because here we are in June and we have a month where largely it is about integration, it is about being inward, it is about play, it is about magic, it's about respite and restoration, and I think that we can all use it. So you might be finding that your drive and your motivation to get big projects done and get work done is a little limited right now, and that's okay. We are not in a place of inaction by any means, but we are definitely not in go mode this month. And next week, we're going to be working with a very important energy theme called Reigniting Your Magic in Healing Circle on Wednesday. And that is, I think, very apropos for these energies right now in June. And what we're going to be working with is the vibration of play and curiosity, and we're going to be doing some work to balance the brain and work on activating our intuitive brain and helping the analytical brain to quiet so that when we are in a state of play, we can enjoy it. And I'm just a couple of weeks back from our trip in Costa Rica, and it was a really important reset for me. I couldn't tell you the last time that I spent more than a couple of days disconnected and not doing work, even spiritual work, right? Even working on myself, even doing spiritual practices can be work. And it was an important reset. And I think that we're all being called into that energy of reset and restoration this month. And I find when I work with people that they don't really know how to play. I don't know about you all, but when I was growing up, I was an only child, and I literally grew up on the side of a mountain, and I know that I played, but I don't remember playing with other kids very much. And I don't remember playing to the degree that I see some children playing day to day when I'm out in the park or witnessing. And I'm sure that I did, but it didn't stick with me. It's not something that it is a vibration that comes easily and naturally to me. And I have quite a few people who seem to show up to work with me who have a hard time with that. And it's interesting because what I find is that when there's this lack of play, this lack of curiosity, this lack of adventure and connection to life in this way, we get really burnt out very easily, and we get really overwhelmed, and we feel really unsupported, and we feel really disconnected and lonely. And so I think that this month and this energy theme that we're working with is incredibly important because we've got to reclaim some of that magic. Goodness knows that all of us are doing such a big thing to just be here on the planet right now and move through all the things that we're being asked to move through and anchor New Earth and anchor all these new beginnings for humanity, right? And we're all playing our part in that. And it doesn't have to be a slog, right? It doesn't have to be this really difficult journey. It can be joyful, it can be fun, and we need to start activating into the simple pleasures in life again and being able to really drop into that in a way that feels supportive to our beings. And so my encouragement to all of you right now is to work on your play And if you don't know what that looks like for you, then you've got to do some homework. You've got to experiment. You've got to try some things out. You've got to try on new ideas and new hobbies and new things until you find the thing that makes you really happy and brings joy to you and brings that playful vibration to you. And the other dynamic that I want to speak to, and this is specific to relationships and something that I'm seeing, especially in partnerships where there's a masculine and a feminine dynamic at play, that sometimes what I see is that one partner is really good at play, maybe too good at play, and they get a little stuck there, so much so that they don't want to do anything else. And then the other partner feels that they have to be the responsible one. They have to be the one that does all of the things and makes sure that the household runs and keeps going. And not to stereotype, but what I often see is that it's the feminine who goes into that responsibility and that doing and that very constricted role. And it's the masculine who sometimes gets caught up in that play vibration. And not always, but that's often what I see when I have clients coming forward that are having relationship difficulties and feeling really overwhelmed in their relationships. And whether I'm working with the masculine or the feminine, and it doesn't really matter, what I sense is that we all have some kind of dynamic that we're processing right now around learning how to play and learning how to play in a way that doesn't interrupt our ability to continue to function and do the things that we need to do in our day-to-day life. Like, how do we step into a playful vibration where we flow with life? Meaning, if we do have a long to-do list, if we do have a lot of things, we can still bring that playful vibration, that kind of divine feminine playful energy forward, and we can find our flow. I like to think of it like a river, right? We want to find that flow like a river. And the river has to flow around all of the boulders, which may be a metaphor for our tasks and our things that we have to get completed. But we still need to be able to flow, right? We don't want that river to dry up, because then we're really parched and we're really rigid and we're really fragile and we're really overwhelmed. So something to think about this week, especially as we are moving into this week and next week, is how can you embody this vibration of play and magic, and what does that look like in your life? Last night in our first class of this volume of New Earth Now, I invited everybody to stay in a place of curiosity, because we were talking about a lot of things that are not in our history books. We were talking about our history from Atlantis and Lemuria, and sometimes it can be a little daunting or a little dense because we learn about what happened to those societies, and spoiler alert, it wasn't really good. And if we can bring that frequency of magic and curiosity and that kind of childlike wonder to these things, it's a little bit easier for the energy, the density that we got in those lifetimes and the things that we experienced to clear out of our beings, which oftentimes those things are held in our body. And so we're working with technology right now, and what in New Earth Now, and what I find is that technology should be something that helps us to activate into more play. But what I see instead is that we start getting so locked into technology and so locked into our tasks that have to do with technology, where we might have our to-do list or our computer tasks or whatever we have to get done, and there is no play in that, right? And we are not able to get outside and get connected with nature and be in that childlike wonder vibration, that curiosity vibration that we really need to be in, so that our body feels good and our fields stay healthy. And we're going to be working on that in our second class tonight. We're going to be working on our energy fields and the impact that technology has on them, and clearing out a lot of things like EMF and 5G interference that really messes with our nervous system and messes with our circadian rhythm and a lot of other things like that. As I am activating deeper into this playful vibration myself, what I am finding is that I've needed to change my schedule up. I've needed to change my routine up so that it has a bit more flow, because the energies are very different this month than last month. So that's another way that you can embody this vibration, is just really looking at your bookends, like your beginning of your day and your end of your day, and can you bring play into at least that, right? And ideally you've got some play in the middle of your day as well, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, and even if it's just quiet contemplation outside and being curious about what's happening in your yard, right? Or maybe you're reading a book or something that activates play for you and you can drop into that fantasy vibration. There's a lot of ways to bring this into your life. But we cannot be connected to our inner child and to our healed inner child without this frequency. Because if we do not take the time to bring this playful vibration in, our inner child does not want to stay engaged with what we're doing. And that's when we get into the doldrums and we start to feel like we're in a loop that never ends. And it's not a fun loop to be in when we feel that way. So that's my 2 cents for you all today. Get out, do some play, bring in some lightness, really take advantage of these big, beautiful energies that we have this month. We have a lot of Jupiter and Venus influence right now, which is pleasureful and luscious and playful and a little bit decadent, dare I say. And so that's really what we're being called to this month. So soak it all in. We have definitely earned it. It has been a very difficult spring in my perspective, and as we move towards summer solstice and into the summer vibes, I think that we have really earned this, and we have earned this time off and this respite. So take advantage of it in whatever way you can, even if it's just in small pockets of time during the day. And there's still time to join us if you want to hop into New Earth now. We are doing some really cool stuff. I am loving this class that I'm teaching. I feel really at home teaching about sacred geometry and technology and healing our relationship to that. So if you want to join us and play with us in those vibrations, there's still time to catch the recording of the first class and join in before we finish up this volume. Otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, let me know how this lands for you, how you're finding play, what that looks like for you in your life right now. Maybe you might inspire somebody. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. All right, have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.